Hello everyone and welcome, my name's Ali and today I have a ridiculous Black Ops 2 gameplay for you guys. 203 kills to only 2 deaths, that's over 100 KD. The game mode here is domination within ground war. There have been a few 200 plus gameplays within ground war domination on PS3 I believe, but to my knowledge this is the first one that's actually on the Xbox, that's why it's very exciting. The user that sent in this gameplay I actually know, I've met him a few times at a few gaming events. Ben Essential is his channel name, you can check it out in the description of this video. I'm going to be running through the score streaks he's using, the class setups he's using, what made this gameplay so successful, and if you like seeing high scoring gameplays including loads of 100 plus kills, games etc, then check out his channel with the link in the description to see that. Now the reason why this gameplay was so successful is the start, the beginning. He works his way around the B flag so cleverly that he gets his lodestar and his VTOL warship very quickly, and it essentially sets him up for the rest of the gameplay. If you didn't know, when you actually get a kill while you're capturing a flag, so the process of the circle being filled, so you're capturing it, you get 200 points, which is the same as capturing the B flag or capturing an opposing enemy's flag. And these points are really essential to building up your high score streaks very quickly, and this is what he does very well. He jumps on and off the flag to get capture kills, and then jumps off to restart the capturing process, jumps back on, gets a few more capture kills, and then finally captures it fully to get the full 200 points, and again even more score to go towards his score streaks. Now one of the noticeable thing about his score streak setup is actually the absence of the VSAT. Normally I would use a VSAT a lot. A lot of the high scoring gameplays you see on YouTube, there will be a VSAT involved within the player's score streak setup because it's so useful for not only helping you gain those higher score streaks at a swarm, or then looping around again to get your same score streaks again because you know exactly where the enemies are on the map, but the actual absence of it within this gameplay means that he can switch out the VSAT and sub in another really high killing score streak. So here he has the Lodestar, the VTOL warship and the swarm. All three are very high killing score streaks. He's got a few friends helping him out here, but it isn't a full party, so those guys can help with a few UAVs and such, but he's not using the VSAT himself. Now within the domination mode within Black Ops 2, rather than being one continuous scoring gameplay where you start and end the game continuously, is of course in two halves. So he works towards a second set of the score streaks within the first half, so it can be used and can be called in for the second half of the gameplay, so that he's set up nicely and can go into the second 5 minutes section working towards the 200 points within domination with more score streaks to pull out and to use against the enemy. But the class loadout I'm sure you guys want to know about is very important as well, and this also involves the FAL, and unfortunately here one of the downsides about the class setup he's using is that we didn't have scavenger, he didn't have a chance to pick up any other guns, and he's in this awkward position here where he can't proceed unless he wants to run straight into the enemy. He can try and back away, but unfortunately he gets stunned, slows down his movement, and he can't turn around quick enough, and that's his first death of the gameplay. We're about to jump into the second half in a second here where he'll call in his second set of score streaks. But going back to the actual class setup, as we can see on screen here, he's using the FAL with primary gunfighter, which means he's got the reflex sight, the stock attachment and the select fire. Now using select fire on the FAL is very useful because it means you don't have to continually tap the fire button, although if you're very fast and have a very good trigger finger you can shoot actually faster than the select fire option, just shooting and tapping normally, but that's very inconsistent and sometimes your speed of your actual shooting can slow down. So using select fire is a continuous automatic feed of bullets coming out of the FAL, which is very useful indeed. Using the stock attachment is very useful on assault rifles because when you're aiming down sight, I think your movement speed is reduced to about 40% of normal walking speed, but once you put a stock attachment on it, it goes up to around 80%, so you can move a lot quicker, you can avoid enemy bullets by strafing left and right a lot quicker, and that's the main advantage of using the stock attachment. And the reflex sight simply for additional visibility and being able to see the enemies easier and knowing that your sights are lining up perfectly rather than using the standard iron sights on the FAL. Now in terms of perk 1 setup, he has hardline, of course, and you've got such high score streaks as he does here. You want to be getting them as quickly as possible, and Hardline knocks off 20% of the score needed to get them. It also means you can cycle through the score streaks a little bit quicker, because again, once you're in your second loop of score streaks, it's 20% less over again. So it's a very key perk for getting all of these score streaks quicker than normal and cycling through them quicker. The second first perk he's using is actually the flak jacket perk, which means when you're being hit by grenades and explosives, you're not going to take quite as much damage, which is cool when you're capturing flags in domination like here, or if you're just running into a random grenade, or you hit a claymore or bouncing Betty. It just means you're not going to get any of those city deaths, and it's just extra protection against explosives, which is awesome. The second perk is toughness, which is a perk I run on every single one of my classes within Black Ops 2. I've also uploaded a best classes episode today about the M27 where I talked about toughness a little bit more, so if you want to see that, feel free to click on that, and I talk about toughness a little bit more there, but I highly recommend that as a perk 2 slot. And then finally for perk 3, he has dexterity going on, which is quite useful in this map in some of the cases when you're trying to climb up the side ledges, because there's a lot of rock you have to climb up of. There's the bridge, of course, and again you can climb up to the bridge in different ways by climbing up rock in that case as well. So dexterity helps you climb up those parts of the map, and also allows you to shoot a little bit quicker from the hip when you are in a sprinting motion and you stop to start shooting. So that's useful as well when you're when you find yourself in close quarters situations and you want to kill the enemy as quickly as possible. Now here he's using the VTOL warship, and Benny explained to me that you can actually set off flares manually if you're being targeted by a stinger, and you hear the stinger targeting you within the audio of the game. If you tap, I believe, the triangle or the Y button, you'll actually manually send out a flare which will then block that stinger, so you can make the VTOL warship last a little bit longer, which is a very nice tip if you guys like using the VTOL warship yourself, and it helped him in this gameplay make the score streak last a little bit longer, so it wasn't shot down quite as quickly as well. Of course, the Swarm, the highest score streak in the game, on such an open map like this map here, is going to do work as long as they're not indoors in the building behind him, or to the little tiny building up on the hill to his right. Then it's going to be raining down hell, it's going to be smashing onto the enemies, and it's a really good score streak for such an open map like this. But we're coming towards the end of the gameplay here. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hit that like button if you've done so. Final score of 203-2. Make sure you're checking out Benny's channel, you're subscribing and telling him that you're coming from my channel. Leave a comment saying Ali A Army or something like that, just so he knows. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. If you haven't seen any of the videos on screen now, make sure you're clicking on them to check out more videos from me as well. But this has been an awesome gameplay. I've enjoyed watching it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the information I've given you and watching it yourself as well. But cheers for watching. I'm very close to 1 million subscribers at the time of making this video. A crazy number. But I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon.